All right, here we are, Impact and Influence Radio right here on iHeart. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Blinds of Sacramento, Sacramento's complete solution window covering experts. Give them a call, 916-790-8689 or blindsofsacramento.com. Now today, we've got a lovely lady in here. I'm going to try my hardest not to screw this up. Blossom Inuenwi.
Correct, yes.
Blossom Inuenwi.
Yes.
I get it right.
Blossom Inuenwi, correct.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Okay. So, you've got to tell me, what nationality is this?
I'm Nigerian.
Nigerian.
Yes.
How far is that from Ghana?
We're neighbors.
Okay. Is it the same country, different country?
West Africa.
Okay.
But yeah, different countries, right?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know this stuff. I know that we've been getting a lot of African culture on, which is very interesting.
Oh.
Different accents. I'm noticing different accents.
Yes.
And the stories are just incredible. Some of the people that are coming through here, and of course, I'm going to want to know your story as well.
Of course.
But thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And then you're the owner, is that right? Owner of Arden Creek Laser Aesthetics?
That is correct.
Holy
yes.
smokes! How in the world did you do that?
It's a miracle, but yes.
Miracle. Okay, so before we really dig deep, who are you?
Okay, so my name is Blossom Inuenwi again. I am an advanced practice nurse, FNP, family nurse practitioner, I should say that in full. Have my doctoral degree, and I have been a nurse for over 20 years. In aesthetics, I want to say like somewhere between 5, 6 years. And of course, after working at the bedside for so many years, I wanted to go into wellness, and that's why we started this business.
Now, was this just one of those things you just woke up one day and you're like, I want to do this, and so you just try to one foot in front of the other? Or do you win a lottery and you're like, hey, I want to build my own practice?
So I was working, in a different aesthetic clinic, and after working there for for years, I thought, what, I want to venture out and do my own thing, and that's why we went out and did this.
Incredible. I don't know how people do this. Like, honestly, I've been an entrepreneur since I was a kid, in a sense, right? And I tried the retail store thing and the brick and mortar thing. It never worked for me. I couldn't really get it off the ground. Doing the magazine and the media, that's what I've been doing for like 30 years, the media stuff. And it works for me. But when somebody like yourself, you come in and you're like, I'm going to build a medical practice, that's got to be, just the overhead has got to be insane.
It is. It actually is, yes.
How do you not stress out?
You do stress out, but that's part of it, right? I have to remind myself, this is part of, what it takes to run a business. There's always that stress, especially when you're starting. You're working, I want to say 24 hours a day. There's no
100%.
rest, right? But once you kind of get established, then there is a routine that follows that. And that's kind of where we are today.
You're just amazing.
Thank
Already,
you.
I'm just blown
Yeah,
away. Okay,
yeah.
so your company. Tell me about your company.
Okay. So we are Arden Creek Laser Aesthetics. Started in 2023. That's when we opened. And we have so many services that we offer. We're excited about that. And so we wanted to be a one-stop shop for, all of your wellness needs. So whether you're concerned about, say, your skin, or you're concerned about weight, and you just want to make a change or a difference to your life, you come into our clinic and we have all of these services ready for you. And that's what we're excited about.
What services are we talking about?
Okay, so we starting with, say, Botox, right, or fillers, laser treatments for your face. We're wanting to stimulate collagen, right? We're talking about anti-aging, hydrofacials, tattoo removals for those who have like tattoos and regret that and want to get rid of it. Then we have we are able to remove that. Laser hair removals, right? For those who just want to be hairless, or those who have medical concerns like, say, PCOS, and they have excess hair, and they're wanting to get that removed. We have, the device to take care of that. Medical weight loss, IV nutrition therapy, really, everything that you can think of to make your life better or make you feel more confident in yourself. We offer those.
Now, what types of clients are you looking for? I feel like I'm just going off of the list here of stuff, but what types of clients are we talking about? Men, women, young, old?
Across the board, right? Because everybody has something that concerns them. Obviously, our demographics is women, right? Largely women come through because women are the ones that kind of more concerned about these things and want to do something about it. We do have men as well, old, younger, it does not matter. We have something for everybody. Yes.
Now, somebody like myself, I've never been one to do any of this stuff. What would you recommend? I'm one of these that I shave once a week, and personally, I'm not a very hairy person to begin with. I like the wrinkles. I like the gray hair.
Yes.
What would you recommend for somebody like myself?
You see, that's it. I don't just recommend, right? I go based on your needs and what you're concerned about. And sometimes I go places and once people find out what I do, they always ask, what do you think I need? And I always put this back to them. What do you need? What do you feel like you need? What concerns you the most? You have tattoos, right? If you said, this tattoo, I kind of want to get rid of it. I don't like it anymore. Then that's what you need. That's what we work on.
I'm never getting rid of this
Okay,
tattoo.
see. But that's it, right? You're not concerned with your fine lines and wrinkles, right? You're not concerned with anything. But there's always something for everybody, If you were, for instance, concerned with those things, then we have something for you. For some people, they want to just maintain things, right? We talk about going on an anti-aging journey. And then for you, if you're thinking, well, I love the way I look and I don't want to look 70 when I'm 50, for instance, right? Then maybe we can talk about anti-aging and what that entails.
What does that entail?
Right. So several things, right? When you walk into our clinic, we have this device. It's called Image Pro, facial analysis. So it uses advanced imaging and it takes a picture of your face under various lighting, various angles on your face, and it gives us a more in-depth look of what's going on beneath your skin. So it's going to analyze things like texture, sun damage, fine lines and wrinkles, the elasticity of your skin. If you have like excess oil production in your skin, it shows us that as well. And then we look at that and then analyze it, right? And talk about what is of the most concern to you and what you want to treat. And then we come up with a treatment plan that would work for you.
Now, does different skin types, different races, is it an image or is it like a thermal print type thing that you're looking at when they do this?
So it is an image, right?
Okay.
And then it
because
kind
if you have really light color skin or really dark color skin, you're gonna have different shadows and different lights and so forth.
But it just gives you an image of your face, really, and then what's beneath it, and you
That's
can kind of
awesome.
see it, right? So for
That's
some people who
amazing.
come in like with sun damage, right, to say the dermis, not just the epidermis, right, the outer layer of the skin, but the deeper tissues of the skin, it shows us that, and we're able to see that. And we talk a lot about sunscreen. For a lot of us, out there, we don't believe in that.
I don't use it.
Oh, see, it's very important, though. You have to protect
See
your
that?
skin. Yes.
Skin cancer.
Yes.
See?
That's one of
There
it,
you go.
right?
We've already had to burn it off once now. Actually, twice. I've already gone through 2 treatments now.
Oh, wow.
Here it is coming back.
So that tells me that sunscreen is very important. You have to use it, right? And I always tell...
I still don't.
But you do have to.
She's yelling at me. You should have seen the look on her face. She was ready to punch me when I said that.
But you have to, though. It's very important, right? And a lot of us don't think about it, right? I tell everyone that sits on my desk, I say it has to say SPF of 30 plus. 30 plus. It has to be, say, broad spectrum, right? So it protects you from UVA, UVB. And, we talk about skin cancer. That's a concern, right? But some people are not very concerned about that because they don't think it's going to happen to them.
Oh,
but
that's not the case.
But they're concerned with...
My mom, my dad, my whole family has dealt with it.
So this is why you need your sunscreen, right?
I know. Yeah.
But some people are concerned with just the early signs of aging, and that's what the sun damage does. It causes
Very
that.
interesting, though. Very, very interesting. And what I love is funny is I'm looking. I was going to talk about passion, and literally that's the next thing on the list here. But you're so passionate about this.
I am.
And just where did this come from? I mean, was this something that from when you were a kid? Is it? Were you born in Nigeria?
I was born in D.C. actually.
Okay.
So there's a story there, right? My dad came to.
Where's the accent then?
Well, I was raised in Nigeria.
Okay,
Yes.
so you're raised in Nigeria.
Yes.
And then with how hot it is there, is that where the passion for this comes in, and skincare and that kind of stuff? But the reason I ask is a good friend of mine. He's from Nepal, and we've talked about his greatest fear. His greatest fear is cold, and so he's become a real estate developer, and he builds just tons of real estate, because this whole thing is like, I always want to make sure I have enough houses in case it gets cold. And so where he comes from, it's cold there.
Yes.
And he comes over here and it's warm, and he doesn't ever want to go back there. So that's the reason why I ask you is all of everything that we do comes from some sort of childhood something or another, and it just follows us for life. So is that essentially where yours came from?
I wouldn't say childhood. I would say working as a nurse at the bedside. I worked, I was telling you this earlier, I worked in the emergency department. I've been a nurse for over 20 years, right? So I've done a lot. And when I started working in aesthetics, it was just different, right? We have happy patients, right? Or not patients, but clients at this point, right? We're not calling them patients, right? They're clients, but they're happy. And people more that are concerned with the way they look and feeling confident about themselves. I think that's the thing. Renewing that sense of confidence in people, that's what drives me. When clients come back after a treatment and they go, oh my God, look at my skin. I had this, say, acne scars, and it's clearing up. I look in the mirror and I see a difference. Oh my God, I'm so, that makes me so happy, right? Because that renewed confidence, it just boosts your, their self-esteem.
Is that why you got into this and got out of the medical thing?
Yes.
So I ran into this police officer. He was a sergeant in the police force for 30 years. And we were at Starbucks one day, and we were talking, and he was talking about how he was about to retire. And I was like, okay, so what are you going to do now? He goes, I'm going to open an ice cream shop. And I started laughing at him. I felt bad. I was like, what? You're going to go from a big, crazy, bad cop to an ice cream stand.
Yes.
Why? And he goes, because I've made people cry my whole life. Now I want to make people smile. And that's kind of what this is reminding me of, is just that, you're dealing with people in pain for bad things. Now you want to make sure that people are happy.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So now your passion for the medical field, where did that come from? Is it just something that kind of fell into your lap?
I want to say when I was growing up in Nigeria, I wanted to be a pharmacist, right? That was my thing. I was going to be a pharmacist. Well, when I came into the U.S., this was, many years ago, I was going to go into pharmacy school. My auntie actually said, that's going to take a long time. Why don't you start with nursing? Get your associate degree. It's only 2 years. And then after that, if you still want to be a pharmacist, then, go further. But at least you have something to start with. And I said, sure, I'll do it. Good advice. Yes, exactly. So I did that. I went into nursing, and oh my God, I fell in love with it. When you are a nurse, it becomes you. I go whether I'm at, say, at the grocery store, whether I'm at the bedside, it doesn't matter. I'm always a nurse, right? If I see something that concerns me, I'll say something. I'll give you a little thing. Right? I was in church one day, and I heard a baby just breathing, just abnormal, what I call abnormal breathing, right? And I sat there in church, and I kept listening to it. And the pastor was preaching, and I just couldn't focus. I was like, what if mom doesn't know that that's abnormal? I feel like I have to say something. I kept telling myself, maybe you should shut up and mind your business. But I just couldn't. And so when she stepped up because the baby's breathing was noisy, I went after her and I said, I just want to say I'm concerned about this. And I started talking to her. And she said, oh, we already know. We're following a pulmonologist. I said, oh, my God, thank God. I felt like I needed to say something in case something was wrong and you didn't know. So, Well,
that's community. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
We sit down with business owners some the same way, in a sense. They're telling me, oh, well, I keep running into this problem. That shouldn't be happening.
Yes.
We need to figure that out. And you have to do the work.
Yes.
But at least I can point it out.
Yes.
Where do you see your company going?
Okay. So growth, right? Always important. That's always at my forefront. But I also want to change lives, to impact a lot of people. That's really where my focus is. I want more people to hear about us, come into the clinic, experience our service, and feel, more confident and happy with the way they look and the way they feel. I say this to a lot of people. Don't wait until, say, you're 70. If something bothers you today, work on it, take care of it, treat it today. If it's weight loss, like you wanted to lose weight, you've tried everything and nothing is working,
I'm laughing because I keep thinking about, man, my stomach just keeps getting bigger, and then you're like, you have to do something about it. And I just keep thinking, I'm not giving up donuts. But it's not happening.
But you see,
I've got to have my donut.
If it bothers you today.
It's not bothering. I mean, it does when I have to go buy new shirts because my stomach is too fat. But let me tell you, man, when I want a donut, I'm getting a donut.
See, if it bothers you today, I don't know how old you are, but when you're 70, it's going to bother you, right?
44 this
Okay,
year.
44. When you're 60, it's going to bother you. When you're 70, it's going to bother you. It's never not going to stop bothering you, and you don't want to wake up one day and be like, I've gone through my whole life with this one thing just bothering me.
If I'm laying there on my deathbed,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
and I'm looking at everything that I've accomplished,
Yes.
and I go, man, I should have had that donut. That I probably should have had the donut. Just have no regrets, Just don't do things that you're going to regret down the line.
Yes.
And I don't know if donuts are going to be one of those things. If the doctor is sitting there telling me, and he goes, you could have lived an additional 5 years had you not spent your entire life eating donuts. You know what? I think that's a good enough trade. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I know. Well, if you love donuts that much.
I do. Did you ever watch The Simpsons?
I did,
You
yeah. Some of
remember
it.
Homer and the donut?
I don't know that I watched that particular episode.
Every episode, he had to have a donut. He would go, donuts. You don't remember that?
It's been ages.
I walk into the gas station there at the corner to see if they have my favorite donut. If they don't have it, I leave. And they know why I'm leaving because they know that my donut's
they don't have
not
it.
Yeah,
Oh my
so
goodness.
So you want to continue to build this
yes.
company. You want to continue growing. Do you want to grow into a bigger facility, more facilities, franchise? Kind of what are you thinking?
More facilities, that would be ideal. And hire more people, right? Have more of those resources available. One of the challenges we face today is, having people call and trying to schedule them. Find something that fits their schedule and not being able to, and having to sort of postpone that. I had somebody call me today and I was trying to fit her in for, I believe it was Thursday, right? And, I didn't have any openings. And of course, so we have to move it to next week. So things like that, right?
That's what we deal with the show.
Yeah,
Same thing.
yeah. So you kind of want to have, those services always readily available so that if anybody calls, then they are able to fit them in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't have too many slots available. That's the other thing is then the calendar's empty.
That's true.
If you have too much availability, then you're. Services that you provide, we've already kind of got into this, but just give me a quick rundown of what some of these are.
Okay. So some of the services I'll start with, like the laser treatments, right? Okay. Kind of like to walk through it in my mind, right? One of the rooms, like we have 3 treatment rooms, right? We have a laser hair removal device in that. It does things like treating spider veins. Yeah, so that's a big
Yes.
thing. Like some people don't like those because they look for some people unsightly, right? They want to get rid of it. But laser hair removal, and then laser toning as well, right? If you have like uneven skin tone, you want to smooth everything out. Yes, and then we have the other device that does tattoo removal as well as carbon facial. The way the carbon facial works, people work into the clinic, they have like large pore sizes. They want to shrink that, or they have what else? Oil, dirt on the skin, needs some exfoliation. And then we do that. The way it works is that we apply like black gel, it's called a carbon gel on the face. We let it dry. It adheres to the debris. You've seen that, right?
Yes.
I love it, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, and you pull it and all the stuff comes out.
Exactly. So you pass laser over it. It's almost like getting a chemical peel, but with no chemicals. So there's zero downtime, right?
Yeah.
You can have it right before your wedding if you wanted to, but it gives you that immediate gratification, that glow, and people love that.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
Yes. And then we have the hydrofacial, right? So if you're wanting to do a deep cleanse of your skin, it has like 4 main features to it: deep cleansing, exfoliation, extraction of oil, that's clogging up the pores. It infuses hydration back into your skin. So if your skin is like really dull and you're looking for that immediate radiance, that's what it does for you. But it does that deep cleanse as well. And then we have the other device. Oh my goodness, I love it. It's called the Aerolase Neo Elite, right? It does so many things at a go. So let's say you come into me and you say, I have hyperpigmentation. I kind of want to even out my skin tone. You also have acne scars, right? we can treat all of those at a go. So we're talking about rejuvenation and tightening, melasma treatment, hyperpigmentation, you have rosacea or just inflammation on your skin, right? You want you to get rid of that, that treatment works.
Wow.
I don't have to change the settings. I don't have to do anything. As I'm treating one concern, we're treating all of it at the same time.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Now, you mentioned Botox. Are you doing the lipo and all that kind of stuff as well?
No, just the Botox, right? So coming like with deep lines and wrinkles, like you have the frown lines or forehead lines, right? Yes, those ones, right? Or some people with the crow's feet, right? Exactly. And so we're depositing,
I've earned all of this. I've
had people say that, right? They're like, I'm not concerned with that. I've earned it. I'm 60 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind it. And
in my business,
yes.
It's important for a man to have some gray hair and
Yeah.
some wrinkles. And then they treat you a little bit more. They don't call you, what's up, bro? They don't call you bro anymore.
They believe you have experience, right? You know what you're talking about.
What's actually funny is I lost a bunch of weight a few years back, and I noticed that I went from being called boss to bro. And then as soon as I went back to the weight again, I got called from bro back to boss. And I'm like, I think I'm just going to be fat. I don't like the bro. I mean,
that's funny.
I mean, my buddies can do it, sure.
Yeah,
but when I go somewhere and they're like, hey, what's up, bro? I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, too old for that. Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, my God.
We all have something up here that motivates us, right?
That is true, yeah. Being called bro is probably one of the things, we don't want to be called.
When I was 25. When I'm 45, no.
True.
I don't drive a Corvette. Oh, no. We're having too much fun. All right. So, Arden Creek Laser and Aesthetics. Arden Creek Lasers with an S.com. 916-515-8724. Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Yes, very important, right? I'll give this little background. Talking about not waiting until you're much older to treat the things that concerns you. I had a young lady walk into the clinic, and she's 70, and she was so concerned with her face, right? She said, I've never done anything before, and I want to look like this. She had a picture, right? And there was no way I was going to get her from where she was to where, her goal, right? And we had a conversation, did the facial analysis, we talked about what I could offer her, but not quite exactly what she wanted. She would probably need a facelift at that point, right? But she said something interesting. She said it always bothered me, and I'm 70 now, I'm ready, I want to take care of it. But what I want to say to everybody out there, our listeners, is don't wait that late to do something that bothers you. If something concerns you today, walk into the clinic, come to Arden Creek Laser and Aesthetics, work on a plan to take care of something that bothers you. Don't go through your whole life being concerned with if it's melasma, right, or hyperpigmentation, or the rosacea just bothers you.
It's exactly the same thing with anything in life. If you've got bucket list items, if you want to start a business, if you're thinking about having kids, whatever it is, you don't say when you're 70, I want to start a family.
Yes.
You have to do these things.
You gotta start sooner. And get that glow back, get that confidence back, whatever is going to make you happy. And talking about dead, right? Whatever is going to make you lay there and say, I think I lived my life and I did what I wanted to do. I ate that donut, whatever, right? Yeah, you want to be able to say that, not, oh my God, I regret I didn't go see that doctor about that one thing that always bothered me.
No, seriously, 100%.
Yes.
I could have this conversation for the next 20 minutes about getting up and doing it. You just have to get up and do it.
Sure.
If there's something you want in life, do you charge for people to come in and to have that conversation with you?
For the consultation?
Yeah.
It's actually a minimal fee of $30 if, for that. But if they choose to, they opt for any treatment at all, then it's free. It
goes in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Arden Creek Laser and Aesthetics, 916-515-8724. Blossom, thank you.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure having you.
Thank you. This is fun.
and the smile, that glow, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes, it's really just beautiful. 916-515-8724. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.